Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good day, my dear students, and inshallah we'll start our online lessons today, inshallah. So this is our first lesson. It will be the vocabulary. This is our first lesson, and it will be on vocabulary, inshallah. So we will start with words easily confused. Before we start with words easily confused, we want to know what is the meaning of that words easily confused. It means all these words, okay, they have different meanings, but also they are similar. They are similar. For example, like trip and journey, they can all means رحلة in Arabic, but in general, but specifically trips is used for something and journey is used for something else. So they have same meaning, similarities in the meaning and also differences. Okay, so let's start to check the first group. Now in the second grade we used to have only 3 words or 4 words. Now we have how many words? We have 9 words. These are 9 words. And now trip, journey, tour, voyage, cruise, flight, excursion, and expedition. They are all related to traveling. They are all of them in a way they mean traveling. In a way that they mean traveling. Yeah, ثالث. Okay, so let's check it out. Let's check it out now. Okay, so let's start by travel. So if you check travel in the dictionary, it will mean going from a place to another place. I traveled from Mecca to Jeddah. I traveled around the world. I traveled last year. And when we check the word journey and trip, it means visiting a place. Okay, visiting a place, and normally it's for short time. Yani my trip to Mecca, I went for a trip to Mecca. Okay, it means you went to Mecca and came back not for a long time. And you didn't stay for 6 months, for example. Normally you stay for 1 day, 2 days, and etc. So if it's a short traveling, okay, you can call it a trip. Like when we people from Jeddah, we go to Taif, to El Hada, and stay for 1 day, and we come back, we call it a trip. Our trip to El Hada was very nice. So trip, it means to travel but shortly. Okay, so let's check journey. When do I use the word journey? I use the word journey when I want to talk about the time and the distance I needed when I was traveling, or the amount of traveling you needed. For example, when I say the journey from Jeddah to Dammam will take 12 hours. Okay, so I'm talking about the time. And instead of saying the time, I will say the journey. Also, when you are in the plane, the pilot sometimes said, okay, or actually most of the time they say, our journey will take, for example, 2 hours and 30 minutes. يعني رحلتنا حتاخد. When I say رحلة, it doesn't mean the actual traveling. We mean the time your travel will take, or the time you need to travel. Okay. After that, we will move to voyage and cruise. And what is the difference? We want to check the difference between the word voyage and the word cruise. The difference between the word voyage and the word cruise. Okay, so voyage and cruise. The similar between them is that both of them are in the sea. كلها رحلات بحرية in the sea. Okay, but voyage is a long trip. Like for example, if you took a trip around the world, or you traveled to from Saudi Arabia to USA by ship. This is a long trip. It's called voyage. It's called voyage. Cruise, no. It's a trip in the sea, but for fun. It's no destination is required. What do you mean by no destination is required? It means, for example, if you traveled, okay, if you, for example, took a cruise, okay, you started for example, from Iskandariya, then you stopped in Greece, then you went to, for example, Italy. كلها بإيش؟ by sea. You stayed here for one night, and during the trip itself here 2 nights, for example. Here you stayed for 6 hours, then you took a trip for 2 hours, and etc. So it's like you go on the ship for fun, to have fun. That means you were in a cruise. That means you went into a cruise. So if we checked in the internet and we wrote cruise, you can see here, this is a picture, okay, this is a cruise picture. شايفين? What can we see here? That people are in the sea, but they are not only traveling, they are having fun. They are swimming, they are eating, and there are so many pictures I will show you now, okay, about things that you can do on a cruise. Let me see here. Let's write some cruise activities. Yeah, cruise activities. Okay, see, people here are also sliding. They are also doing some sports inside. So the sea itself is a place to have fun. You will spend the time. They have gym, they have some cinemas. So inside the cruise don't just ride it like the plane. I want to go to a cruise because I just want to go from a place to another. No, it's you go in a cruise because you want to have fun on the sea, in the ship. Okay. Let's move to the other one. Here, flight is a trip by plane. It's very simple. When you go by plane, you can say it's a trip. It's also a trip, but by plane. A cruise and a voyage. Cruise is a trip also. Voyage is a trip, but it's on a ship. Let's go to expedition and excursion. Okay, so this word is pronounced. Let's take a look at how it's pronounced. Okay, expedition. It ends with this suffix اللي هو الزائدة والإضافة. Expedition. What do we mean by an expedition? It's a trip to discover a new place, like Magellan. You know, if you read about Magellan, you study to discover a new place. For example, if you go to Africa by a group of people or scientists to discover Africa, to see what is there, to study the plants there, this is called an expedition. هي رحلة استكشافية. Okay, excursion, in the other hand, a trip by a group of people usually made for leisure, education, and physical purpose. Excursion, sometimes they go for education, to study stuff, or to exercise. It's the same when you go, for example, to the Himalaya mountain, and you go to Mountain Everest. Okay, if you go with a group of people, you are an excursion. Okay, it's a trip. You travel with a group of people. Why? Leisure, it means to have fun, or to study something, or physical purpose, like if you want to go skiing, if you want to go hiking, okay, and so on. So again, we will revise it again. Travel is the main word. It means going from a place to another place. After that, we have a trip. Trip is a short traveling, when you travel for a short time, okay? And sometimes we call it a trip for like cruise can be called a trip, but it's a trip in the sea. Voyage also, it's a long trip. Okay, journey is the time you spend, okay, or the hours you spend in the, or the days you spend in traveling. After that I have cruise and voyage. Cruise is traveling in the sea for fun. Traveling in the sea for fun. Okay, for fun. Voyage is a long trip in the sea. Flight is a trip by plane. And expedition and excursion. I want you to notice something, that the RSION here, I pronounce it, okay? It is pronounced ja. Excursion, it's pronounced ja, okay? It is pronounced ja. Excursion, okay? Expedition, a trip to discover a new place. In the other hand, excursion is a trip with a group of people, okay, usually made for fun, leisure. It means fun, leisure. Also here, ISU is pronounced ja. Leisure, education, or physical purpose. Purpose, it means reason, for physical reason. يعني أسباب أنشطة جسدية, like sports I told you. Okay, طب let's move to the other slide. Okay, the words we have here are hotel, hostel, resort, cabin, suite, انتبهوا هنا ITE, suite, cottage, caravan. Hotel, hostel, resort, cabin, suite, cottage, caravan. Okay, in meaning, okay, all of them are, guess what? They are places. But let's compare them according to the meaning. For example, like hotel and hostel together. Hotel and hostel, when I go to the internet and I write hotel versus hostel difference, okay? Let's see what is the difference. Hotel versus hostel. Okay. First, let's talk about social. Social, it means the number of people. Hostels are more social. What do you mean by hostel are more social? Okay. While in a lobby of a hotel, guests tend to read paper. It means in a hostel, people talk together, stay together, guests share stories. In a hostel, you will find them, for example, students, okay? They are mostly not families. Privacy, okay? Hostel doesn't have the same privacy like a hotel. Privacy اللي هي الخصوصية, okay? For example, you can have shared bathrooms, okay? You can sleep with a group of people in one room. You will not have privacy. زي السكن يعني نقدر نقول عنه سكن, okay? Price hotels are more expensive than hostels. And okay, toiletries اللي هي the washrooms or the toilet, okay? You will find for hotels you will have your own bathroom, but in hostels you will have, sometimes you'll have to share. So hotel is more expensive. You will have your own room. In hostel you will sleep in with a group of people in the same room. Let's check it out in the internet too. Let's write here, okay, hostel, and see some picture of hostels or hostels. Let's see. Okay, no, okay, we want hostels, not hotels. Hostel, okay, sorry, hostels, yes. Let's see some pictures. But there was a movie called Hostels. That's why there are pictures of actors. Okay, this is a hostels picture. شايفين? It's a hostel picture. This one and this one. See, it's a group of people. They will bunker beds. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to cabin and cottage. In cabin and cottage also, let's see what are the differences. By the way, in shape, from outside they look the same, kind of the same. Okay, in Arabic they are all translated into the Arabic word اللي هو كوخ. But what are the differences? Okay, now the materials اللي هي المواد, what it cabin is smaller, it's simpler, and it's made of wood, only wood, خشب بس مبنية. Cottage, no, you can use wood, bricks, stones. Cabin are simple. Cottage is sophisticated and more, okay, luxurious. It looks better. Okay, cabin, it looks old, not modern. Cottage is more modern. Now let's take a look. Let's find a picture, for example. Okay, like let's write cottage and the cabin versus cabin, and let's look in the internet. Okay, so this one is a cabin, simple, شايفين بسيط جدا. It's only made of wood. It's only made of wood. Let me show you a cottage. Wow, this is a very beautiful cottage. شايفين this one. This is a cottage. This is a cottage. It's fancy and it's much better, and it's not only made of wood. Let me show you another picture also. Okay, this is a cottage. It's more fancy, يعني أكثر أناقة ومودرن أكثر. Okay. طيب. Okay, let's go to the word resort. Resort, this is a resort. اللي هو المنتجع. This is a resort. Okay, this is a picture of a resort. There are houses, or sorry, rooms, suites. Okay, and they will have a swimming pool. Sometimes it's on the sea, and it has some luxury things. Okay, this is called a resort. Let's take a look at the last word, suite. Suite is more than one room in a hotel. Take a look. There is a room and there is a living room. All of this is a suite. If it's only one room, it means you can say I have a room in a hotel. But if you have a room with living room, with sometimes a kitchen, with a desk, this is called suite. It's a place in the hotel, but it has more space, it's nicer, and it has its own view. For example, it has a desk, it has a living room, it has sofa. شايفين هنا في كمان dining room في غرفة أكل. فهذا نسميه سويت، يكون أكبر ويكون أكثر أناقة في غرفة أكل and etc. Okay, now the last group, it's your homework. عندك اللي هي verbs، هذه أفعال. You have arrive, get, reach, come and approach. هتجيبي لي definition and example. طيب طريقة التنفيذ أنت حرة، تبغى تعملي لي إياها في باوربوينت، تبي تعمليها في ورقة ترسميها بيدك، تبي تعمليها على الكمبيوتر. it's up to you. أنا حنزل لكم في سيسو إن شاء الله التمرين السؤال، وإنتي تحطي إجابتك بالطريقة اللي إنت تبغيها. يهمني الأساسيات اللي هو التعريف، عشان التعريف اللي يفرق بينهم، وإكزامبل. كل ما أضفتي معلومات كل ما أخذتي زيادة درجات. كل ما كنتي شخصيتك واضحة أكثر كل ما كان يعني أخذتي زيادة درجات. Okay. Next, suffixes. Noun ending with ion, at, ion, anc and ment أو ment، نقول عنها ment. عندي الكلمات اللي تنتهي. طبعا deriving from verbs. It means what? Deriving from verbs, it means you will use these letters to change, okay, to change a verb into a noun. to change a verb into a noun. Let's see the examples here. Impress. Impress is a verb, فعل. I impress you or she impressed me. Okay. طيب impressed يعني أدهش أو ترك انطباع جميل. Impression, the word impression here, it means انطباع.